Hi, I'm Michelle, and this is my husband Mitch, and we are Blue Slate Ranch.
Hi, I'm Alex Case Cohen, a natural resource and farm planner with the Oreille Conservation District. I am working with the Voluntary Stewardship Program, and I'm here with Michelle Masuin of Blue Slate Ranch, who is a participant of the VSP. So, Michelle, do you want to tell us a little bit about your farm?
Yeah, this is Blue Slate Ranch. We raise cattle, pigs, horses, chickens, turkeys, and are also now branching off into doing some produce work. Mainly we're meat producers.
Great. So how long have you owned the property?
We've owned this property since 2005.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, it's a really lovely piece of land you have here. It looks like you've got a creek over here. You also have some steep slopes with forested areas. What have you done to help maintain your critical areas?
Well, we have 480 acres. The first thing we did when we bought the property is do a sanitation harvest so that we could get a healthier forest. We also did a prescribed burn, again, to maintain a healthier forest. And part of what we did too is leave areas that we did not log at all, that are wildlife corridors and areas for them to still be able to get in and get out of the weather. Beyond that, we've only taken 30 acres of that to actually farm with pastures and crops.
Great. Cool. So, let's see. So in your pastures, you practice rotational grazing.
Yes.
Great. So how many paddocks do you have?
Well, we're constantly adding. Right now we have 6 for the horses. We have 2 for the pigs. The cows we take off property for this time of year. They're only here for the winter. We're hoping to get a couple more pastures built so that we can rotate even more, because we also rotate our chicken and our turkey tractors of what pasture they're in what year. So they're in a different pasture every year following the horses.
So you mentioned that this pasture here where the horses are will be renovated. What does that process look like for you?
We're going to kill off everything that's there. We'll till it and reseed it this winter. We'll then keep the horses off it for about a year. We'll go in and mow it once it gets up, but because the root system will still be pretty tender, we'll let it go for a year before we let the horses on it. And then they'll only be on it for just a short period of time and then pulled off to help manage it and get it stronger.
Great.
Going in and eating the chicken feed. Oh my goodness. So we ended up having to electrify these pens to stop him, because he'd do it every day in the trees. Okay. And so at this point in time, he's going to renovate these 3 pastures. So this one, the next one past it, and that back one there.
Well, Michelle, you've done a number of different thinning projects on your property. What have you noticed with the increase in wildlife or any changes in wildlife habitat here?
Well, once we thinned, we found that we had a lot more deer. We also now have elk herds coming through in the wintertime. And we believe it's because we've opened up the forest to where it's easier for them to move through it. It also has more vegetation of browse for them to eat, so it's become a much better habitat for them. It also, they can move through it easier, and yet we've still left plenty of areas with thermal cover for them for the winter time.
Great. Awesome. And so, have you done any thinning projects on your steep slopes over here?
No,
No.
we don't log on our steep slopes.
And why is that?
Erosion.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're maintaining coverage there,
Yeah.
and also providing habitat on those areas too.
Right. So we've just been on the flats, primarily thinning due to disease, or just that it's so overcrowded that the trees can't grow, so they're very thin and spindly, and we wanted to have a healthier forest. So we did both mechanical thinning. We also did forestry mowing, which mulches up the trees and leaves the mulch on the ground. So both of those have been used here. No, the county pasture will be the next one over. This is going to be, what I'm thinking of is we're debating whether to put the mamas in here to graze it down that are pregnant, or whether to use this year's steers and stuff that we're holding over the winter.
Okay.
We haven't quite figured out who's gonna get the bounty here,
Right. Yeah.
or whether everybody is. But our biggest thing is.
Like you've done a lot of conservation projects here, and you said this is the first one you've ever done.
Yes, when we first bought this property, this was the first project that was done. We wanted to get rid of, well, it already had been a project that had been started to get rid of the fish culvert that was here. 'Cause this was just a culvert bridge, and we had a lot of sedimentation in this river. So we teamed up with the Kalispel tribe to get our portion of this creek better, more healthy. They wanted to get the bull trout back in here, and we do see fish in this water. So if you look at it now, it's really nice and shady because we have the willows and the cottonwoods, and I forget all the different things we've planted along here, different shrubs and things. And the Indians put logs in to narrow it so the stream moves faster, which helps keep it cleaner. And since all of that has been done, we now see bull trout in this creek.
Wow.
So we achieved our goal.
Great. Perfect. So you've restored fish habitat here, correct? And you've put in fence on either side?
Yeah, that was part of the deal with the tribe, is that we would fence it off so no livestock could come into this water.
Great.
And they actually put up the fence, so, you know, it worked out really good. So on this side, we've never had livestock, so you won't see fencing here. This is more like our yard.
Right.
But on this side of the creek, it's fenced off on both sides of the river. The whole length of our property line is fenced off.
Very nice.
So that we do not have any, I mean the deer,
Then,
Yeah.
you know, not our animals.
from a VSP standpoint, what does that mean for us?
So by putting up fence, you're protecting fish habitat. You're protecting any potential wetlands that are further downstream of it. You're allowing native vegetation to reestablish, again lowering the temperature of the water, so you are further allowing bull trout or other fish to live here again. There's less fecal coliform risk coming from livestock, less pathogens or other other organisms that could be harmful to our water, our drinking water system, and to other livestock. So.
For this is in there.
6-inch pole here is going to be for the solar array. there's going to be almost 1900 watt solar array here. That post is 10 foot in the ground and in 36-inch deep hole solid concrete, so it ain't going anywhere. That's our well. There's already a pump down there. It's like a 1.2 horsepower solar focused pump. I mean, it's just for solar systems. It can run off pretty much any power. This is going to be the building that's going to house the control systems. There's going to be 3 different controllers in here.
Okay.
And it's going to then, this pump is going to feed frost freeze. 3 different frost freeze, 3 different pastures for livestock.
Great. So what watering system, watering facility will you choose to use? Will it be mobile or permanent?
It's just going to be permanent, permanently mobile. Probably better said, because it's going to be something you can move. Because it's just going to be a frost freeze. The little hose goes to a float,
Right.
and a water. So you can pick that water up. It's not going to be just cast in concrete. It's going to be we use, as a general rule, we use these little ABS 100 to 300 gallon water troughs. And we do move those around, but I would suspect these are going to get set and left once we start using them.
Right.
So.
And so putting in this solar pump here will allow you to rotational graze, right, in these
Yes.
fields?
Yeah, that's the whole problem we have right now, is that water is limiting our ability to rotationally graze. Doesn't prevent it, it just makes it extremely difficult, right?
Right.
So now if we have automated water that's in each one of these pastures, it's going to be easy. You just turn on a frost free when you move the livestock into the pasture, and when they leave, you just turn it back off.
Right.
You don't have to sit and keep moving and run around with water trucks.
So this is a VSP funded cost share project. So we are providing 75% funds to help Mitch and Michelle put in this solar pump to provide water for their livestock. So a major point of these site visits is to catalog the best management practices that were put in place after 2011. This is to show that landowners like yourselves are implementing conservation practices on your own and that regulation is not necessary. Coming out to Michelle's property, seeing that she's thinning, pruning, and managing brush, grazing her cows on a rotational basis, and protecting fish habitat is part of showing that we are protecting critical areas in Pend Oreille County.